It is the Martha Zoller Show, and we invited Ted Metz in this segment, but he did not call in, but that's okay. We will invite every candidate on that has a contested race between now and the election. Later on in the week, we are going to talk to Rich McCormick because we hadn't talked to him in a while, and it will be, he does not have a contested race, but it does represent part of Hall County, so we try to be fair about all of those kind of things. I got myself in a little bit of hot water on the Georgia gang, which I love, actually, that I'm going to just talk with y'all about for a minute. I did not name names because I don't do that unless, first of all, I don't reveal my sources if they've told me to be off the record or that their background. And secondly, I don't name names because it's not necessary. And I'm not going to produce my text messages to prove anything, okay? Because those are private. But I made a statement in the Georgia gang that, I think, and in the whole context of it was there was a lot of unsettling after Rick Jackson got into the race for governor. And you can't deny that. If you deny that, I have a different candidate in that race. But if you deny that he turned everything upside down, you are living in a dream world. And for 3 or 4 weeks, I think the Jones campaign has gotten their feet back on the ground. And I said this on the Georgia gang on Sunday. But for the first few weeks, they were off kilter because they didn't think they were going to have any competition in this race. And all of a sudden, they were having to be on defense instead of offense. And they weren't very good for a while. And they had people that were either staff members or high-up supporters of Burt Jones that were sending text messages to people. The New York Times has a bunch of them. I'm not sharing mine, but other people shared theirs. I was asked by the New York Times to share mine, but I'm not sharing mine because I value the privacy that people give me. I value the relationships that I have with people, so I'm not going to blow people up, okay? But the New York Times has a bunch of text messages that came out of the Burt Jones campaign and either supporters of his or staff of his that were threatening people that had pictures made with Rick Jackson. Okay? So I said that on the Georgia gang in very general terms, but the question was about the debate. Jones asking for a debate. And the bottom line is you can argue with me if you're a Burt Jones supporter because they're the ones that get the maddest because they thought they were going to skate into this without anybody giving them a hard time. If you were the one asking for a debate, you probably think you're behind. Okay? That's the way it is because if you're way ahead, you don't debate. And I hate to use a bad example like Herschel Walker, but during his primary, he didn't debate because he was 40-some points ahead, and the only way he could go was down. And that's what we learned about him is that once he started being paired up against somebody, they were going to be down. I've also heard a lot of Chamber of Commerces around this area say they were told by the Jones campaign that they weren't going to be on the stage with Chris Carr. Okay? And now he's asking for a debate. Okay, so again, I'm not going to name names of the staff people, but I will give you, and I said this on the Georgia gang also, so I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. I will give you a piece of information or advice that usually people pay me for and pay me well for, okay? If you are a candidate and you are approving things with your name on them, no one will ever know the name of your consultant. They will only know your name. So if it's not you, don't approve it. I also tell people never answer comments on social media. Just let them scroll down. Don't get into a fight with anybody, okay? And since I guess I'm getting to the end of my career, I don't mind giving this advice away for free because eventually it won't matter. But, just people, if you're working for a candidate, I know you love them. But we're all going to be back on the same team again after the primary, or we should be. So don't say things you can't recover from. And look, it sounds like I'm giving Republicans a hard time. I've been going, it should be back and forth with Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock. They have called me once or twice And Senator Warnock, it's so funny. He called me very nicely a couple of weeks ago, and then I looked at the video of what he said over the weekend at the No Kings rallies. Total disconnect between the two different kinds of people there are. I'm the same wherever I go. Okay, I'm the same wherever I go. If I say something in private, it sounds like what I said in public. And if I'm in front of a crowd, I don't turn into this being or whatever it was that Senator Warnock was trying to do on Saturday. But let me just tell you how ridiculous the No Kings rallies were. And this kind of ties up. We have an elected president that won the popular vote and the Electoral College, who is doing what he said he was going to do on the campaign trail. May not like it, may not agree with it, maybe you didn't vote for it. But it's not anything kingly that's going on. And you protested all across America. And as far as I could tell, nobody got arrested for protesting. Maybe they did something they weren't supposed to do. And you're saying you're losing free speech and you're losing your rights and it's a king, while you're waving a communist sickle flag and the flag of a country that has a despot, Iran. People, you're not consistent. And you don't make sense. And you can sit in your little corner and be mad at everybody every minute of the day, but you're not telling the truth.